Services Company.
In time! They got him!
Lakeland University, Lynch Automotive, Z-Bart, Cannon and Dunphy, Loyal Family Renovations, Network Health, and International Autos on the home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
The Boucher Group has exciting news to share with you.
We've expanded to better serve our community.
Introducing Nissan Lake Country, the newest addition to our family.
Step into our showroom and discover our exceptional selection of brand new Nissans.
We're also stocked with the best pre-owned options in the market.
And as we expand, we're not just growing our inventory, we're also growing our team.
So join a team that values your skills and celebrates your success.
Visit us online or in-store today and view our current job listings at bouchercareers.com.
We all love Saturdays, but are they really all that rewarding? I mean, do you really feel rewarded after mowing the lawn or doing all your I gotta do this because today's the weekend, whatevers? Well, Potawatomi wants your Saturdays to be the most rewarding ever with a share of $400,000 in cash and prizes. Just play this July for prize drawing entries. Win on Saturdays. Plus, each Potawatomi rewards level gets their own drawing. Rewarding Saturdays at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. For more details, visit paysbig.com/reward. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
You know Fleet Farm's got everything for everyday life. But did you know we also have the best prices guaranteed every day? Like 40 pounds of Diamond Crystal Softener Salt, on sale now for just $5.69. Or a 40-pound bag of Black Oil Sunflower Seed, on sale for $17.49. And on the odd day you find a lower price, we'll match it. Any day, every day. Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life, all at the best prices. Guaranteed.
With the enhanced engine performance and fuel economy of newly reformulated Tri-Clean gas from Citgo, you're good to go. But good to go where? Exotic bird shopping? To your Tuesday night bowling league?
Woo! That's a turkeys.
Good to go try your luck at bingo.
G32. Bingo!
Good to go to a lumberjack competition.
I'm gonna move my car.
New top-tier Tri-Clean gas from Citgo. The most advanced fuel we've ever made. Now you're good to go.
Covering the Crew all season long on WTMJ, it's Brewers Extra Innings. Now live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee at the Avenue. Here is your host, Dominic Cotroneo.
Woo-wee, what a start to the second half. 2 thrillers, 2 top to bottom, great baseball games. Hi, everybody. I'm Dom Cotroneo. Brewers win today in 9 innings, 8-7. Back-to-back games with 8 runs. Today was a home run derby. 4 homers for the Crew, 2 of them by Eric Haas. A no-doubt blast by Jackson Chourio. An added blast, a go-ahead shot by Rhys Hoskins. Fun to have the long ball back into the fold for the Brewers today because that is the reason they won the contest. 855-616-1620 is the phone number. Again, 855-616-1620. If you want to join us here on the show, I've got a player of the game pull up on my Twitter at Dom_Cotroneo, DOM_COTRONEO. Chourio is leading that, and it's not that surprising. Chourio out of the 8-hole today. He went 2 for 4. Back-to-back multi-hit games. 3 runs batted in, including the home run earlier in the contest. That came in the 7th inning at the time, tied the game. For the Brewers, it is yet another come-from-behind win. It's their 27th of the season. Great news for them as well. The Crew remain in first place by 5 games, given the Cardinals were also victorious today over the Braves 6-2. So you're feeling great about things right now. These first 2 games could not have gone any better. We're going to talk about Haas. We're going to talk about the rotation. We're going to talk about the bullpen. All of that is coming. But you have to start today's show with Jackson Chourio. Back-to-back games with multiple hits. Like we said, yesterday was his first 3-hit game, kind of lost in the shuffle of how chaotic that game was going into extra innings and everything like that. I want to remind you, the Brewers stuck to their cards on this one. They believed in, you know what, even if it gets crowded, even if things get tough for Jackson Chourio, they're keeping him in the big leagues. They wore that in April and May. They made it very, very clear. He's got nothing left to learn in the minor leagues. He's not going to learn how to be a big leaguer in the minor leagues. So much so that he was getting multiple stretches of days off there in late May, trying to figure out what it takes to be a big leaguer, right? He had the stretch of games where he had back-to-back games off in the Boston series, and then an off day, then another sprinkling of days off there. I mean, you look back on June 1st, at the end of the game on June 1st, Chourio was hitting .207 with a .251 on-base percentage and a .575 OPS, a sub-600 OPS on June 1st, or when play started, I should say, on June 2nd. So since June 2nd, Chourio has been a whole new player. Confidence has been growing. Just since June 2nd, this is a stretch now 36 games long. He's hitting .314. His on-base is .368. His OPS during this stretch is .880 over the last 36 games. He is 20 years old. There is so much development still for him to find, and you're watching him learn, figure things out in the big leagues. This is why they did not want to send him back down to AAA. And with all of this boost and all this great production he's had, remember the numbers I just told you. When he woke up on June 2nd, he was hitting .207 with a .251 on base. Well, now, when he wakes up tomorrow on July 22nd, he will be hitting .253, so almost 50 points better, and his on base is .302, which is also almost 50 points better. This is the beginning of something beautiful for Jackson Chourio. I'm not saying he's going to be an MVP. I'm not saying he's going to win the Rookie of the Year, because the other Jackson Merrill, is certainly making that difficult on him out in San Diego. But Chourio hit his 10th home run of the year today. Chourio's already got a total of 12 stolen bases. There's 63 games remaining. If you're going to tell me by the end of the year Chourio has a chance in his rookie year as a 20-year-old to have 20 doubles, and it'd be a long stretch, 20 homers. You never know. Crazy things can happen. Can he hit 10 homers over the next 63 games? That would be impressive. And let's get wild while we're at it. Let's say he gets his 20 stolen bases too. A 20-year-old having a 20-20-20 season. Could that be actually possible? That would be wild. I don't think that's going to happen, because that's asking a lot out of the home run tool, out of the power here in the last 63 games. But even yet, a season like that is rare air. Let's just call it 15, 15, and 15, right? Doubles, triples, and homers. I'm pulling it up right now on StatHead, and I'll have the answer here in just a few moments of when's the last time that's happened for somebody under the age of 21, if it's ever happened. So he needs 5 more homers, 3 more doubles, and 3 more stolen bases to have a 15-15-15 season. And I'm just going ahead and toggle the rookie status here just to see. I'm filtering it by age. Let's see what we get. Live, brilliant radio here. The last guy to do it, at least at his age, 20 or younger. If you don't subscribe to StatHead, by the way, if you're a nerd like me, you'll really enjoy it. But we're pulling it up, fetching results live here on the air. Here's the list of names who have done it before their 21st birthday in their age 20 or younger season. Mike Trout, Andrew Jones, Orlando Cepeda, Ronald Acuna Jr., Bryce Harper, Ken Griffey Jr. That is a 15-15-15 rookie season. 15 doubles, 15 homers, 15 stolen bases. The last to do it, Acuna in 2018, which is fitting because that has been the comp that has always surrounded Jackson Chourio. All of those guys, except for Jones and Jr., won the Rookie of the Year that year. Jones actually finished 5th in 1997. Griffey was 3rd back in 1989. I'm just looking ahead, saying, this is something incredible on the way here for the Brewers with Jackson Chourio. And he could go 0 for 10 over his next 3 games. That does not change how I feel about him. There is still so much for him to learn. Maybe the next hurdle, one of the next hurdles is going to be, hey, man, you've been in an 0-2 count so much lately. let's try to make contact earlier or try to work counts and understand how pitches are attacking you, because he's seeing strikes. He's still seeing strikes, and he has learned how to chase less. We've talked about the chase rate falling since May and how much more disciplined he's been when it comes to the strikeouts. In fact, in this stretch, right since June 2nd, we talked about how great he's been. 133 plate appearances since June 2nd, including today's game. Only 23 strikeouts. He has 38 hits, only 23 strikeouts. He's been fantastic as far as his discipline goes. Even 11 walks in there, too. He's not a guy that really draws a lot of walks, but he's understanding how to put bat to ball and use his speed for good. I've just been enamored with what Chourio has been doing. He is the headline today, a home run, back-to-back multi-hit games. That's what I'm taking away from this game. What do you take away from it? 855-616-1620. Again, 855-616-1620 if you want to join us here on the program. Let's talk about the Eric Haas conundrum. What a game from him. A 2-homer game. That's coming up next. Brewers win 8-7 right here on 620 WTMJ.
Coming up, more Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
When the power goes out, your life is disrupted. Heat, air conditioning, refrigeration, phones, all gone. Be prepared for the next outage with a Generac home standby generator. After sensing a power outage, a Generac generator automatically restores your home's power, whether you're home or away. Power your life with a generator from Adams, Wisconsin's #1 rated Generac dealer. Adams provides sales, installation, maintenance, and 24/7 service from all locations. Learn why Adams is your best choice in providing power peace of mind. Visit adamspower.com today.
3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission. You can't find a lower rate of commission, and you won't be able to find better knowledge, service, and real estate expertise than you'll find with our agents at Benefit Realty. Because I know that's what you expect. Now, I'm not sure you'll be able to find the highest caliber of agents everywhere, but I can promise that's what you'll get here. So choose Benefit Realty to exceed your expectations, and you'll pay less for more. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com. Whether you're an active or passively active home shopper, our agents want you to be completely up to date with what's out there and what's brand new to the market. With our instant emailed MLS updates, you'll never miss out on what could be the home of your dreams. All you have to do is call and tell us where to search, give us a price range, and soon you'll be totally in tune with your desired real estate market. Remember, MLS searches show you everything. Some of the other real estate sites don't. So call Benefit Realty today, where you'll pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
This is Brewers Extra Innings.
Brewers get the victory, 8-7, 2-game sweep over the Twins to open up the second half. They win the border battle 3 out of 4 on the season. I'm Dom Cotroneo here for Brewers Extra Innings. Couple of texts that have rolled in here. Get to those in just a moment. 855-616-1620. Again, 855-616-1620. Brewers Extra Innings all year long is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. With a local Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank also knows how to hit it out of the park. They've been serving businesses in the area for nearly 15 years, offering industry-specific expertise and local decision-making capabilities, all to help your business succeed. It's commercial banking value that only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC. Couple of texts here. Josh in Milwaukee, what a 2-game set that was. I applaud the offensive output and the way the bullpen held on today. With that said, I'd like to see less leadoff base runners and walks being issued overall. That's from the Brewers pitching staff, that is. The Twins are a good club, and we earned these wins. I agree, especially on the Twins. They're a great team. I think that they are certainly a playoff caliber team. They should be able to secure one of those wild card spots in the American League. I see them as probably not going to be able to host a game in the playoffs this year, but crazier things have happened with maybe they can chase down the Guardians out in the Central. They entered today 5 games back, and double-checking on what Cleveland did today against the Padres, that one went the San Diego's way, so did not gain any ground with the Padres beating the Guardians and the Twins also losing. And just to kind of put the bow on what they have ahead of them, they actually still have 8 games remaining with the Guardians the rest of this year. They're 0-5 against the Guardians to this point in the season, so they really need to make up some ground quickly if they're going to try to win in the Central. Another text here From Doug, are we looking at another Rookie of the Month in Jackson Chourio? If he keeps it up, he could be Rookie of the Year. Still needs a lot of work to be done to be Rookie of the Year. But when it comes to Rookie of the Month here in July, Chourio's hitting 300, on base 364. He's now got a home run, 5 doubles. He's scored 10 runs this month. 13 games played. Pretty impressive stuff. I wonder what that's going to look like come a week and a half's time for the Rookie of the Month discussion. This one from Chef Ed. This Brewers team has a no-quit attitude. They are never out of a game. Also, I would rest Yelich until Friday. Don't need him to beat the Cubs. Now, the Cubs offense has not looked pretty the last couple of days if you have been watching them. They survived against the Diamondbacks today on a walk-off walk in extras. But we'll talk about Yelly a little bit later on. Let's talk about Eric Haas here, because there's a big decision looming here for the Crew. Gary Sanchez is on a rehab assignment right now with AAA Nashville. They're playing a doubleheader today in Norfolk. And game 1, Gary caught. He went 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. And D.L. Hall also started that game. He did not get out of the third. He only threw 49 pitches, 26 for strikes, 2 walks and 1 strikeout. Look, I'm going to be real here. I don't see a path for Gary Sanchez to say, yes, he deserves to get at-bats over Eric Haas. I just don't see the path. I really don't. Because you can't look at me with a straight face and say, Eric Haas does not deserve to be on a big league roster. Because what he has done, a 2-homer game today, even 2-homer game aside, I thought he was fantastic at framing today. I thought he stole a couple of strikes. Or a couple of calls didn't go his way, but that's what framing is. You're trying to get a ball called a strike. You're trying to convince an umpire that a ball is actually a strike. But here in the big leagues, just 6 games, he is now 9 for 21. Of those 9 hits, 3 of them are homers. Okay? He's got 9 strikeouts, which I understand. So of the 12 outs he has made for at-bats, okay, 9 of them are strikeouts. It's a little bit of an anomaly. That should level off with a little more playing time. Let's also be honest, too, with Eric Haas. Haas arrived at spring training at the start of camp. Right? He was there when pitchers and catchers reported. He was one of the off-season signings for the Brewers. He had time to get to know this pitching staff, to get to know what works for them. He worked with them all spring training long. Gary arrived mid-year, mid-spring training. Now, I'm not saying that's Gary's fault. He was dealing with injury. He essentially had to do a 6-week spring training in 3 weeks, and he was put behind the 8 ball in that, and kind of explains why he didn't really get hot until May, early June. But now he's hurt with his calf strain. And then you think about it with Haas, the Brewers did everything they could to keep him in the organization by, designating him as the very last cut in spring training, while other teams' rosters are already full. They've already made their decision, especially at an important position behind the plate. The Brewers rolled the dice, and they rolled a 7. They got lucky. They were able to keep Haas in the organization. And what did Haas do? He went out and said, you know what? I'll be a professional about this. No big deal. Goes to AAA, tears the cover off the ball. 279 as an everyday catcher, 9 homers, 870 OPS. You may be thinking, well, he's a big leaguer. He's played in the big leagues for years. Yeah, you're right. But it would be easy for a veteran like him to say, I did everything I could. I signed in the offseason. I thought I had the backup catcher spot wrapped up. Especially, remember, the team signed Austin Nola to kind of compete for that backup catcher job. Then he got the parachute out when the Royals needed a backup catcher position to be auditioned for. He ended up getting a minor league deal with them. So it looked like for a week or two there, that's all right, well, Eric Haas is probably going to be the backup catcher. And then Gary was signed. So for me, could you find a way that Haas can stay on this roster and you carry, quote-unquote, 3 catchers? It would get very complicated. I mean, I think one route would be you make Gary the backup first baseman, rarely catching, DHing more often. But then you sit here and think, well, wait a minute. Williams going to need some more DH days in the second half. And now with Yelly's back, he's going to need more DH days here in the second half. So are there at-bats for him or Gary there? And this is a thought that's more of like an eye test thing. Gary's been better defensively this year. Like he's getting better defensively ever since he went over to the Twins. He's been getting better reputation as a defensive catcher. You still do want to see, like, there's been a few pass balls in there. Even Williams had a few pass balls. I'm not saying he's invincible either. But Eric Haas, man, like to have the bat's a bonus with Eric Haas. And the fact that he's hitting the ball as hard as he's hitting it right now is a bonus, in addition to the fact that you know what you're getting out of Haas as a defensive catcher. There is still a little bit of a apprehension with Gary behind the plate. I'm not saying he's a terrible catcher. I'm just saying that Gary has improved his framing numbers. The blocking still is his Achilles heel. He's got a cannon for a right arm. He has thrown out a couple of runners this year. That's something that Haas does not have. So I'm just laying it all out there for you. If you're the Brewers, if you're Matt Arnold, it's like, how do you here maybe at the end of the week, if Gary feels ready to go, what do? You've got 8 or so days to trade Gary or Eric, if you so wish, maybe to a team like Pittsburgh, who's got Yasmani Grandal and Joey Bart catching for them right now, or even, dare I say, the New York Yankees, who have Jose Trevino on the injured list right now. Austin Wells has been okay, but do you bring Gary back to New York? Would he be okay with going back to New York, given how ugly it ended there? But all of a sudden, I imagine there are going to be calls about Gary Sanchez, because the Brewers have a rare problem. It's that you have too many catchers. Extremely rare problem. If you're ever in the problem of you have too many good players, that's a good problem to have. Kind of like what we've talked about with the outfield. These things tend to work themselves out. Now we're worried about Yelly's back. Easy for the outfielders to get their reps. We're worried about Contreras' finger on his glove hand. He's going to get more DH here moving forward as to make sure to keep him fresh down the stretch. But Eric Haas, man, I just tip my cap to him. What a pro. And it's a cliche, but it's the truth. The Detroit thing's a real thing, man. He takes pride in being from Detroit, the lunch pail attitude, blue-collar type guy. He embodies it. It's the truth. Sometimes I roll my eyes at that sort of like cheesy writing, but it's the truth. Eric Haas has been nothing short of a professional to this point in the season, and I hope the Brewers find a way to reward him and have him stick around. 6th career 2-homer game for him, and his first since 2022. Good to see him playing well. He also had a seeing-eye single up the middle that drove in a run back in the 5th inning. That was huge, too. That gave the Brewers the lead at the time. So, a lot of things to like. Brewers win 8-7. Let's talk a little bit about the pitching, though. That was not the prettier part of today. Savali struggled. The bullpen had to do a high-wire act, but they got out of it. Let's talk about the yin and the yang, the bullpen and the rotation for the Brewers coming up after this on WTMJ.
On deck, more Brewers Extra Innings.
Drive into summer with a beautiful new car from the International Autos Group. Get spectacular savings of up to $20,000, and 0.9% financing is available for 60 months. Every model in our 2,000 car inventory is priced to sell. The International Autos Group, Milwaukee, Waukesha, Sheboygan, and Brown Deer. Or at IAAutogroup.com, where our ordinary needs to be extraordinary. Financing with approved credit, $1,709 per month per $1,000 financed on select models.
Join an unforgettable weekend of summer fun when the Brewers play the Marlins July 26th through the 28th. Be here for Yacht Rock Night on Friday and a Hawaiian shirt giveaway Saturday. Get your seats at Brewers.com.
Frank Daniels, our Madison Goldsmith, has an idea.
Bring him in.
Hey, Rick. Hey, Sarah. Hi, Monica.
It's great to see you, Frank. What's your idea?
It's a new company policy.
Let's hear it.
You know the world-famous Kessler's warranty?
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed. It's just that simple. Even if you lose a diamond, including the center stone, we'll replace it. All maintenance is free forever. Yes, it really is that miraculous.
Every time I hear that warranty, it blows my mind.
I propose we have a jewelry cleaning policy that's as amazing as that warranty.
What would it say?
Bring us your jewelry, and we will professionally clean it. While you wait, for free. You can come in as often as you want, and we don't care where you bought your jewelry. The only thing that matters is that you want it to look amazing again. We want that too.
I vote yes.
I vote yes. I vote yes. The motion carries.
Congratulations, Frank. Your idea is now company policy.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
You're listening to Brewers Extra Innings, presented by Fifth Third Bank on WTMJ.
I'm Dom Catronio. Brewers get the win, 8-7, 2-game sweep of the Twins. We're going until 5:30 here tonight on the program. Let's talk a little bit about pitching. talk a little bit about Savali and the bullpen for that matter. The good and the bad. The good, Savali got into the fifth inning. He needed 87 pitches, but was not effective, especially the home run ball. The big inning that hurt him, you could really argue almost didn't happen, with the first two batters reaching in the second inning on walks, both of those being longer ABs, and you would hope for Savali, but a lot of uncompetitive misses. Missing a lot on the high glove side to both of those hitters being Kepler and Santana, lefties. A switch hitter batting left and a lefty. And for Savali, his stuff's pretty good in the zone. I thought the curveball and the cutter performed a lot better today than it had previously, but I thought the curveball was great. I thought the slider could have been better. He had a few slip out of his hand early, but he had 2 on, nobody out. He gets a pop out, clutch. Okay, you got 1 out, so you're a ground ball away from ending the inning. What does he do? He strikes out Austin Martin. So now you're like, okay, really good shape now. 2 on, 2 out, bottom 2 of the order. Edward Julian, for those who want to say, like, oh, he didn't get the call. It should have been a called strike 3. It was in the box, right? Like, well, look, he got a gift earlier in that at-bat, getting a high strike called too. So I'm not saying it was a make-up call. I'm just saying it's like you got to be able to point out the ones that go in your favor when you point out the ones that don't go in your favor. Okay, so I'm not mad about the call being missed there in the 8th inning because they missed one, or in the 2nd inning because they missed one earlier in the at-bat. So it's a walk. Bases are loaded. 2 outs still against the 9-hitter Christian Vasquez. And quite frankly, Savali did his job. He got weak contact. Excuse me, I had to sneeze there for a second. But the job was get weak contact. He did. It was a little soft, spinny liner behind second base. It was staying on the infield. The mistake was Terang. Terang, just a moment where it's like, man, just a little too cute, decided to flip to Adames, who was trying to get to the back. He was playing a righty to pull. He had a long way to cover. Terang, with the catcher running, should have been throwing to first all along, but he didn't. Tried to flip it. He threw it behind Adames. Always hard to hit a moving target. It's kind of like when you're doing your PFP drills and the first baseman is taught, hey, when you're flipping the ball to first base, flip it in front of the pitcher, flip it really on the back, and let the pitcher go get it, right? Whereas Terang there was trying to hit a moving target. He was overhanding it. He was kind of baby-arming it. It was not a good play. And Terang would tell you the same thing after. He'd say, should have gone to first. Should have gone to first. Should have gone to first. Because he goes to first. It's a 0 on the scoreboard. No big deal. Instead, the error leads to 2-run scoring. That makes it 2-0 at the time. Then a hit batter, and Savali eventually got out of the frame, but he needed 33 pitches in that 2nd inning. Aside from that, I thought he pitched well. Even if you give up a solo homer to Byron Buxton, that's in the models. You're not mad at a solo home run. You're never mad at a solo homer. So, and Byron Buxton, an elite player, he's had a great season. He had 2 homers today, including one off of McGill. So it's tough to keep Buxton down, especially against the Brewers over the years. But Savali, after the home run, he retired 6 in a row. You're thinking, okay, 3rd time through now, 5th inning. Non-competitive misses against the top of the order in Willie Castro. He draws a walk. And then what happens? A skyscraper homer by Trevor Larnach. Hits off the very, very, very top of the wall in right field. Gone. 2-run homer. And all of a sudden you blink, and they have the lead after the Brewers had taken the lead in the top of the 5th inning. Savali would get one more out, and then he would be lifted for Rob Zastryzny. So one end, it's like, gosh, Savali pitched decent. It wasn't perfect. The real backbreaker was not being able to put Castro away to lead off the 5th inning. Even if you give up a solo homer there, Larnach, you're okay. But yet, failing to get the shutdown inning. That was the story all series long, right? Brewers scored in the top of it was 3 consecutive failed shutdown innings, right? Twins scored in the bottom of the 2nd. Brewers score in the top of the 3rd, so no shutdown inning there. But then the Twins scored in the bottom of the 3rd, so no shutdown inning there. Brewers failed to score, though, in the 4th, so that ended that streak. But then in the bottom of the 5th inning, Twins avoided the shutdown inning by scoring 2 runs on the home run by Larnach. Not being able to get a stop was huge today. I thought an underrated performer in today's game was Rob Zastryzny, coming in to clean things up in the 5th for Savali and then hand things over to Bryce Wilson. Bryce Wilson left a man stranded after a leadoff walk in the 6th inning. He was done after the 6th. I understood why Pat Murphy pulled him after 6 innings. or after the 6th inning after 1 inning. You're facing the top of the order up next. Damage was lurking. They wanted to give Peguero a clean inning. We've talked about his struggles with inherited runners. Gave up an inherited runner yesterday, even though he got a ground out, a strikeout, and a ground out. But you think of it, I understood why they pulled Bryce out after 1 inning. However, I would have maybe rolled the dice and see if Bryce could have given you 2. I think the calculus changed, though, when the Brewers tied the game 5-5. If they were still trailing, I imagine Bryce would have been back out there for the 7th inning, which means you could have saved Koenig for the 8th and then McGill for the 9th. But they used Koenig in the 7th, Peguero in the 8th, and then McGill in the 9th. And I think I said Peguero a moment ago, but Peguero had the 8th. They want to give him clean innings right now. Koenig having his return, first 2 guys reached a walk and a single, then he locked it back into gear with a ground out, a fly out, and a strikeout. Koenig is going to be huge. But this was a tweet that somebody had sent to me earlier. The Brewers are going to need length out of their starters. And after seeing what DL Hall did today down in AAA, it's like, look, he is not going to be a traditional starter. He's going to be an opener, a quarter horse. He'll be paired with, say, a Jacob Junis. He'll be paired with like a Bryce Wilson, where those 2 guys are going to try to combine for 6 or 7 innings and see what you get out of it. And that's going to be a tried way that the Brewers save some of their bullpen. But the fact that they have Koenig back now, Devin Williams had a 1-2-3 inning with Nashville. He touched 96 today, too. Maybe 2 more outings for him, maybe 3 for him down in AAA. I don't expect him to need a back-to-back while he's down there. Maybe he's down for 2, and he'll probably go again maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday. Then he'll maybe make 1 more outing, let's say, on Friday, and hopefully he would be back by the end of the next homestand for the Brewers when they're taking on the Marlins and the Braves. So you look at this bullpen, and all of a sudden you start thinking, okay, Devin gets the 9th, McGill or Koenig can have the 8th, then Koenig or Hudson can have the 7th, or Peguero can be in that fold. You'll have Junis available for length, Wilson available for length. You can still even use Pyoms. He just won't be using the 8th inning, so it's going to get a little bit easier now once you start to backfill it if things go according to plan. But the easiest way to make things easier on the bullpen is to get length out of your starters. This is the simplest way. Tomorrow it'll be Tobias Myers. He's been giving you length. Colin Ray, he'll go on Tuesday. He's been giving you length. I imagine it would be Joe Ross on Wednesday. Maybe he needs 1 more down in AAA. Maybe it'll be DL Hall on Wednesday in one of those combo starts. But you need length over these next 2 games from Tobias Myers and Colin Ray, because I imagine Brian Hudson will not be available again tomorrow. I imagine McGill will not be available tomorrow in 3 in a row, so who's going to be closing for you? I don't want to use Koenig on a back-to-back coming off of his IL stint. So you're going to be thin in the bullpen for another day until we figure things out. Easiest way to do that, get length out of your starters. If it was that easy, everybody would do it. But that's what the Brewers are faced right now with their pitching staff. Brewers win 8-7 despite all of that. Trevor McGill gave up a couple runs there in the 9th, a home run again to Buxton, and then an RBI ground out. But not too worried about that. He's been used a ton. His job's going to get a little bit easier when Devin Williams does return. 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620 if you want to join us here on the program. Let's talk a little bit about the roster, talk a little bit about what's looming here for the Brewers, decisions to be made, that sort of thing here. Going till the bottom of the hour right here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Coming up, more Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct Summer Sale starts next weekend. For 3 days only, next Friday through Sunday, get 20% off. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale, too. 20% off starts next Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
It's almost time for the world's greatest aviation celebration. John Mercure here. Don't miss out on EAA AirVenture Oshkosh, July 22nd through the 28th. It's daily air shows, thrilling aerobatics, 2-night air shows with dazzling fireworks, drones, and more. Unique aircraft will be on display all week long. Check out hands-on experiences for the kids and so much more for the whole family to explore. Join EAA for a week of unforgettable moments and immerse yourself in the world of flight. Don't wait. Visit EAA.org/tickets for more information or to purchase your tickets today. It's EAA.
When your car or truck needs service, you should take it to a specialist. I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. At a member, new car dealers have factory-warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians. Plus, their prices are as low or lower than independent shops, even on routine things like oil changes and tire service. Knowing all that, why would you ever consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
Don't think twice. Call Geis. Since 1955, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. Hey, don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget. They'll even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to GeisDoors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Welcome back to Brewers Extra Innings.
Welcome back. Dom Catronio with you. Another 25 minutes or so left in the program. Brewers roster decisions looming. In fact, they made a trade today. They acquired a left-handed arm, Tyler J, from the Mets off of the waiver wire. He was DFA'd by the Mets earlier this week. I think this is just a depth move. Do not freak out. They had to make a move to activate Kodai Senga from the 60-day IL. This is the move in doing so, and the Brewers decided to make a trade by sending TJ Shook, a minor league starter, to the Mets. And the Mets send Tyler J here. He was immediately optioned down to AAA, so they had room on the 40-man roster to do so for at least a couple of days, and they're just trying to cover their bases here. They designated Joel Kuhnel for assignment today to make room for Koenig on the active roster, and in doing so, opened up a spot on the 40-man. So the Brewers decided to acquire Tyler J, put him on the 40-man, and then the decisions that loom while he is around the team anyway, or at least on the 40-man roster, includes, okay, you've got DL Hall's return imminent. He needs to create a spot on the 40-man roster. Joe Ross's return is imminent. Need to create a spot for him on the 40-man roster. Devin Williams' return is imminent. Need to create a spot for him on the 40-man roster. And then if J.B. Bukowskis ever returns, he would need to create a spot on the 40-man roster. Haven't heard anything about Anoli Paredes as far as his forearm tendonitis goes and his soreness. He was initially placed on the IL on July 2nd. If he's a candidate to be placed on the 60-day IL, that would put him out of commission until into September. I don't know if that's on the horizon for him, but that's one way to create a 40-man roster spot for him. And then you've got the DFA talk. I don't like talking about DFAing players that are currently active on the team, but the guys that don't have options are Yoel Payamps. And I know if you go on Fangraphs, you'll see an option under Hobie Milner's name, but he's had more than 100 days of service time this season, which coming into the year, he was at 4.068. He's had more than 104 days of service this season, which means he has now reached 5 years of service time, which means he can reject a minor league option even if he has one. However, he can accept it and go down to AAA if he so chooses, but that is something to think about if the Brewers need to create a spot. If they want to option Hobie Milner, he has the option to say, nope, sayonara, I'm going to go latch on with somebody else. So that's just for some folks who might be confused about why wouldn't you try to use him to option him and create some space. That's part of the reason why. As far as position players go, I mean, this is the healthiest the Brewers have been in a while. I mean, aside from Gary, of course, but when you think about it, I talked about this a lot on yesterday's program. The Brewers, this is kind of the personnel that they envisioned using coming out of spring training, but obviously Garrett Mitchell's broken finger, and then even the emergence of Joey Ortiz wasn't for certain, But the fact that he is locked down every day at third base has been huge for the Brewers. And they're finally kind of at full strength with their position core. And we just ranted about Eric Haas for a while there. This is kind of what you envision, and getting 4 home runs is certainly nice. I thought that was especially huge for Rhys to get a homer today. He's been scuffling. His average is below 220, trying to see if he can create 25-ish homers. You knew you were going to get close to 30 out of him. If he can get hot here down the stretch today, was number 15 for him. Really encouraged by what we saw out of Rhys today. But for the Brewers, looking ahead here, trade deadline, there's not a lot of room. A lot of folks say, go get a bat. Well, where's he going to play? Okay, Rhys is going to be everyday first for the most part. Rhys is going to be in there 5 to 6 days a week, and we will hold with bated breath on how long Yelly has to be out with his back. He's not on the injured list, but he was off today. You could see it in his movements yesterday. Wasn't moving great with the back, trying to see if he can get healthy sooner as opposed to later. But if you're out without him for a little while longer, it opens the door to keep Gary and all 3 of those guys and kick that can down the road for a decision to be made among the DH and the 3 catcher rule. But just something to keep an eye out for Yelly. Maybe he gets another day off tomorrow against the Cubs, try to get him a little bit healthier, but you need to get the pillars going. You need to find a way. Rhys having a good day was huge. William has really slowed down since his hot first 2 months. I know he's dealing with a finger, but maybe more DHing, maybe a few more consistent off days are on the horizon for him because nobody plays this much, especially your catcher. And it's especially tough when your catcher is looked to for offense and specifically for power. It's nice to have him hit singles all the time. I'm not complaining. I'm never going to complain about singles. But if the Brewers' offense isn't getting power from other places and you're looking to William like, hey, man, need some power, well, you've only had, 5 days off all season, 4 days off all season? That's going to add up to you here in August in the dog days. So I would like to see William get a few more off days here moving forward. Today, William went 0 for 4 with a walk. Didn't strike out today, but also all 4 balls in play were groundouts. A little bit of an alarming trend right now for William. I want to talk a little Hall of Fame coming up next. We saw the speeches earlier today during our game. Of course, a lot of Minnesota Twins fans were keeping an eye on Joe Mauer and his speech today going into the Hall of Fame. I got a couple of people that maybe haven't got the same pub that I want to make sure I shout out here on the post-game show from Hall of Fame weekend. No Pat Murphy audio today with the game being on Roku. We don't actually have access to ripping that from our friends at Bally. So we're going to talk a little Hall of Fame coming up next. Brewers win today 8-7. Highlights to come a little bit later here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Coming up, more Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Change the way you do business and take more control of the payment process with Fifth Third Bank's Treasury Management Solutions. Their market expertise and managed services streamline the entire payment process and integrate with your existing systems, giving you more control than ever. With their suite of payment solutions, you will soon recognize new revenue sources that can save time, offset operating costs, and improve the bottom line, all customized for your business. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ish Nala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ish Nala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
It's Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Rewards Member Appreciation Event. While we offer unbeatable deals every day, now through July 31st, we're showing extra appreciation to our rewards members with exclusive deals. Like $100 instant savings on 4 Michelin, BF Goodrich, or Uniroyal tires. Rewards members get an extra $25 instant savings on any set of 4. 10% off assorted brake pads, shocks, and struts. Rewards members save 15%. Not a rewards member? Sign up today. Don't miss our Rewards Member Appreciation Event going on now at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Now, more Brewers Extra Innings presented by Fifth Third Bank on WTMJ.
All right, welcome back. I'm Dom Catronio. Brewers win. They've won 3 in a row going back to before the All-Star break. They win the sweep in the 2-game set. They've won 3 out of 4 over the Twins. But stepping away from Minneapolis for a moment, I want to talk a little bit bigger Hall of Fame weekend. If you have never been to Cooperstown, if you've never seen the National Baseball Hall of Fame, go, 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 go. Winter, hey, you're Wisconsinites. You can handle winter in Cooperstown. It might be a little snowier than you used to. Be a little calmer as well. But summertime in Cooperstown's great. It's a little muggy, but hey, it's all good. I love Cooperstown. I've been once, loved the Hall of Fame Museum. Shout out to Josh Rawich, the new director of the Hall of Fame. He's had that role for a couple of years now. Former longtime PR guy with the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's doing a great job. I think the Hall of Fame weekend is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I made a rant about this earlier today during rain delay coverage. I believe one day, one thing I would hope to see here in baseball, for the All-Star break, with it always kind of coinciding near Hall of Fame weekend, let's just give the whole week off. Let's go Monday to Sunday, no games. Whereas you do the Home Run Derby on Tuesday and the All-Star Game on Wednesday, or you can keep it Monday, Tuesday if you really want. But what that does is it would allow everybody to get up to Cooperstown to give them their own weekend. Or maybe even make it a made-for-TV, Sunday Night Baseball live from Cooperstown. Or if you dress up one of those ballparks, Doubleday Field or something, it is a little small, so you would have to get really creative with that. I mean, we made the Field of Dreams game happen. We've made London happen. We've made San Juan. We've made Mexico City. We've made so many other events happen. Why can't we create an event at the Baseball Hall of Fame and make it, hey, how cool would it have been to say, like, hey, Rangers and Twins, you are going to go Rangers and Twins and, like, Pirates and, let's say, Rockies, right? Because your teams, your players are going into the Hall of Fame, you get to play these games in Cooperstown. Now, obviously, the schedule is set more than a year in advance. That makes things difficult. The the Hall of Fame voting is done during the off season. I'm just pipe dreaming here. I'm spitballing. All that being said, Hall of Fame weekend's awesome. We saw 4 new baseball personnel added to the Hall of Fame. 3 players, 1 manager. Jim Leland, the manager. Joe Mauer, Adrian Beltre, and Todd Helton, all very, very, very deserving. But I want to mention 2 other guys that obviously, didn't play, don't get the same pub or recognition, but are going to the Hall of Fame. First of all, Joe Castiglione. Joe Castiglione, the radio voice of the Boston Red Sox for over 40 years. Got to call the curse of the Bambino being broken in 2004. Has called 3 World Series victories for them. Has seen a 20 strikeout game. Has seen no hitters. Has seen it all. And I think of Joe Castiglione when I think of Red Sox baseball, just like I think of Bob Uecker when I think of Brewers baseball. That voice is what I think of when I hear Red Sox on the radio. Joe Castiglione, the Ford C. Frick Award winner, congratulations to him. He has been very kind to me over the years. The whole Red Sox radio crew are class act people, and we missed him. He was off for the weekend that the Brewers were in Boston earlier this year, but got a chance to catch up with him a couple of weeks later when I was there for TBS, and he was humbled and excited for the honor that was coming here this weekend. So congratulations to Joe Castiglione. And finally, somebody that you may not know about, Jerry Fraley was the Career Excellence Award winner from the Baseball Writers Association of America. Jerry Fraley unfortunately passed away in 2019 due to a battle with cancer. Covered the Phillies, Padres, Rangers. That's where I got to know him, with the Rangers as a young kid growing up in a press box. He was always so kind to me. I think of his family as he gets a very, very, very well-deserved honor. The joke about Jerry Fraley used to go like this. Jerry Fraley knew your players better than the players knew themselves. He talked to everybody, players, execs, umpires, coaches, scouts. He knew everybody. As old school as they come. If he didn't know you and he felt that you could be a part of a story or a source or something he learned, hey there, I'm Jerry Fraley. Wanted to introduce myself, say hello. I can ask you a couple of questions. That was Jerry Fraley. Such a great guy, took his craft seriously. And if you've been reading sports baseball, in the sports writing in the newspaper for years, you may have noticed the notebook style. That's Jerry Fraley. He's the one who was part of the reason that was created. And his style of hey, look, I don't need every story to be this big, bold headline. I have to get quotes and everything. I'm just going to fill up the notebook with things I observe and things that are on the way here, and let's deliver it in a notebook style where I empty the notebook and here's what I've seen and here's what I've heard and here's what we're talking about this week. And it fits perfectly for a 162-game season and a long spring training as well. So, Jerry, we miss you. Congratulations to you and your family. Baseball Writers Association of America got this one right. So happy for him. Incredible, incredible man, and we miss him dearly. So congrats to Joe and to Jerry and his family, as Hall of Fame added some very, very, very worthy baseball people into their halls this weekend. Go see it. Honestly, Cooperstown's fantastic. All right, with all that being said, let's get back to baseball. Brewers get the victory 8-7. Before we get to the highlights, I want to remind you that Brewers Extra Innings is also brought to you in part by Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. Right now, at Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical, you can save $10 off right now on air conditioning checkup or even an HVAC call as well. This goes for a limited time only. It can be on HVAC, plumbing, or an electrical service call. At Cider, your at-home comfort is top priority. Visit cider.com today. SEIDER.com. Highlights up next on WTMJ.
On deck, more Brewers Extra Innings.
Do you remember that electric moment when you suddenly realized that she was the one?
The one you were going to love forever.
The one you'd been waiting your whole life to meet.
She is the one.
The one.
Now it's time to find the one engagement ring that sparkles like she does.
Come to Kessler's Diamonds. We have a collection of incredibly special diamond engagement rings called the One Collection.
You need one special engagement ring for the one woman you will ever love.
Kessler's Diamonds is the one jewelry store where you can find the One Collection.
And Kessler's is the one store that offers the world-famous, no excuses, no fine print, lifetime warranty on every diamond engagement ring we sell.
We have the freedom to do this for you because Kessler's Diamonds is the one diamond store owned by its employees.
The One Collection starts at just $550.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Find the Kessler's nearest you at Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. If you've got water in your house, you need Guthrie and Fry. We've got their water softener. We get their salt delivery. We've got reverse osmosis that protects the water in our house. They've got the best people. They've got the best products. It's Guthrie and Fry. They treat their clients like their family. I feel that every time they're in our house, you need Guthrie and Fry. Fixed rental rates, convenient salt delivery programs. It's gfwater.com.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry.
Now is the best time to sell your home. Market is ripe, and Grandview Homes will pay more now than ever before. Plus, we'll buy your home as is in any condition. No repairs or cleanouts needed. Visit GrandviewHomes.com for your fair cash offer today.
Trust in your family's comfort at home with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. They're the oldest family-owned HVAC company in southeast Wisconsin. 4 generations of Ciders, and their highly trained technicians provide a one-stop shop for all home and business comfort needs, including an emergency service line that's always live and a 12-year parts and labor warranty on all Daikin products. Get peace of mind by scheduling maintenance today with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. That's SEIDER, cider.com.
The reviews are in, and folks seem to like how we do business. And what's more, they can't get over the level of service and real estate expertise they get for far less than what they'd pay an agent from a big-name company. At 3.5 to 3.9%, you'll save up to nearly 50% in commission by choosing a Benefit Realty full-service agent. Everything they do, we do, for up to 50% less. There's no catch. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. See our success stories at benefit-realty.com. One day, a 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission structure will be commonplace. But for now, it's not the case. So you can pay 6% for what we can do for about half that, or you can pay less for full service. For some, it's hard to believe, but for our customers, they know it to be true. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, and our agents understand the meaning of great customer service. And you'll see they're the cream of the crop. So don't pay more than you have to. Pay less for full service with Benefit Realty. Benefit-realty.com.
Ready for this?
Get up!
This?
Get up!
And this?
Get out of here! Go!
Time for tonight's highlights. Here's Dominic Catronio.
All right, game 2 of 2. Last one in the border battle this year, Twins and Brewers. Joe Ryan against Aaron Savali to close out this opening series of the second half. Scoreless after 1 in the bottom of the second inning, though. First 2 batters reached against Savali with walks. Then an error will allow both of them to score on Bryce Terang. So it's 2-0 Twins as we move to the top of the third inning. And the backup catcher having his day in the sun. Here's Eric Haas.
Here it comes. High fly ball to left field is going to back up Martin onto the track. Martin at the fence, leaps up. She is gone. Eric Haas, solo home run to get the Brewers on the board in the third.
Josh Maurer's call here on WTMJ, but the Twins would respond right back with a solo homer from Byron Buxton. That made it 3-1. Brewers would respond a couple of innings later in the fifth inning. A leadoff single by Rhys Hoskins, but he was erased on the fielder's choice. Man on first, 1 out. Garrett Mitchell drops down a beautiful bunt, puts runners on first and second with 1 out. Jackson Churio, the batter, and he did not miss.
2-2 pitch. Jackson, a line drive into left center field. That's going to get down and plug the gap. It's rolling all the way to the warning track before it's cut off by the center fielder Buxton. Ortiz is in. Flying around third is Mitchell. He will score. It's a 2 RBI double for Jackson Churio. And we are tied at 3.
Lane Grindle's call here on WTMJ. Churio actually had 2 of the 3 hardest hit balls in today's game. They weren't done in the inning, though. The next batter, well, there's that man again, Eric Haas.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. And a bouncer back up the middle. This is going to sneak through into center field. Around third is Churio. He will score. An RBI single for Eric Haas, and the Brewers on top, 4-3.
But once again, the Brewers could not get the shutdown inning. On the bottom of the frame, a 2-run homer from Trevor Larnach, and that would give the Twins the lead right back. That made it 5-4. Now we enter the Jackson Churio phase of the highlights. First with the glove in the 6th inning.
0-1. This is hit down the left field line. Churio going back on it into the corner, reaching up, and did he make the catch? Jackson Churio sure did. Reached into the stands and made that catch before it went into foul territory. Wow.
That ball wasn't going to be a homer. It was in foul ground, but what a play from Jackson. And everyone knows the rules. When you make a great defensive play, you're always leading off the next inning.
1-0. Drilled deep to left. Watch this baby. Way back. Way gone. Second deck. Game-tying home run. Jackson Churio. Have yourself a weekend at Target Field. Churio knots the game at 5, leading off the 7th inning.
5 hits over the weekend in Minnesota. Then the home run derby began in the 8th inning with the game now tied 5-5. Rhys Hoskins.
0-2 pitch. High fly ball left center field. Racing back is Martin at the track. Wall leaps up, and it is gone. Rhys Hoskins, a 2-run shot, and the Brewers lead it 7-5.
That was huge because it was some key insurance for the crew. In the bottom of the 8th inning, the Twins loaded the bases with nobody out against Elvis Figueroa. And, well, got to use a low-hanging fruit. Elvis left the building.
1-2. And did he go? They tag him out, and Sean Barber says he went around. He doesn't even ask for help. Elvis Figueroa. Bases loaded, nobody out, no problem. A huge strikeout of Ryan Jeffers, and he gets out of the jam with no damage done.
And now how about one more bit of insurance, a multi-homer game from Eric Haas.
Here's Eric Haas, who homered and singled and drove in a run. And he gets into one this time out to center. Buxton back at the track. Wall, it is off the top of the wall. And gone for Eric Haas.
It's a big, tall wall. I don't blame you, Lane. Brewers get the lead 8-5. The insurance would come in handy because 2 runs would score in the 9th. McGill would lock down the save, and the Brewers win and sweep 8-7. We'll wrap it up after this on WTMJ.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Our house was looking kind of drab. Needed a little bit of a facelift, and I found the team that took care of it big time. It's CertaPro Painters. Each business is independently owned and operated right here in Wisconsin. Schedule your free estimate online. It's easy. CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. They will come out and help you protect your home investment with quality painting. It's CertaPro Painters. They are the real deal. They did great work at our house. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Join an unforgettable weekend of summer fun when the Brewers play the Marlins July 26th through the 28th. Be here for Yacht Rock Night on Friday and a Hawaiian shirt giveaway Saturday. Get your seats at Brewers.com.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. John Stevenson, D.C. What is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is actually nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
Numbness, tingling, burning, muscle cramps, coldness in hands or feet, and problems with balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It is absolutely treatable. We can get great results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands, or balance issues, call Strive Integrative Health at 262-307-2133 today for a nerve damage screening. This screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for their cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Simply call Strive Integrative Health at 262-307-2133. Act now, 262-307-2133.
Wow, Wayne, that is a beautiful window.
It sure is, Jeff. It really tackles energy efficiency.
Sure has a nice slide.
It's one of the best screenplays I've ever seen.
They're so easy to close. I'd say it's a grand slam.
If you guys keep making those dad jokes, you're going to be a real pain in my neck.
Oh, that's a good one. Did you hear about this one?
Well, those two go on and on. Let me share something that is not a joke. Order today from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and pay as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. The installation is completed with no mess and no hassle, leaving nothing but perfect results. A new patio door or front door makes for the perfect backstop. How was that one, guys? Ugh, they're gone. Jeff and Wayne love doing the Irish goodbye. Anyway, moving on from the dad jokes, don't miss this great deal from Pella. Get as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply at 7/31/2024.
I'm on top of the world.
Opposite of a Midwest goodbye, Irish goodbye. I'm out of time. 5 seconds left. Brewers win. Back tomorrow on the air at 6. I'm Tom Catronio. Keep on swinging.
Do you hear that?